listening to an audio article by the Common Constitution. Today's article is entitled, Baseless Allegations Are Nothing New for the Left. The circus sideshow that the Democrats were hoping for during the Senate Kavanaugh hearings has come to fruition, and they owe it all to a California psychology professor, Christine Blasey Ford, who, by most accounts, just happens to also be a liberal activist. Okay, maybe that's not entirely accurate yet, but she has attended liberal anti-Trump events and is a California college professor. Am I therefore alleging that she made up the entire story of being attacked at a high school party when she was 15 and has fingered Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh as the attacker? No, I'm not alleging such a thing, nor can anyone else who wasn't present in the room at that party. In other words, it's a wholly unprovable incident. But do you see what I did there? I implied that maybe she did just make it up because of her background as a California college professor and that she attended liberal events. And we know that all California college professors are radical leftists, right? In other words, I made an entirely unsubstantiated allegation without any evidence to back up my assertions. Pretty neat trick, eh? But it's a tried and true method of operation of the left, and it's been done with some success more than once over the years. Here are just a few of the more notable incidents of just throwing out an allegation for the sake of political gain or to advance the left's agenda. During the 2012 presidential campaign, then Senate Majority Leader Dingy Harry Reid accused Republican presidential hopeful Mitt Romney of not paying his taxes. Reid even took to the Senate floor to make the accusation. When CNN's Dana Bash, yes, CNN, called him on it, his response was simple. Quote, Romney didn't win, did he? Unquote. Global warming activists use this method of allegation without proof constantly. In 2016, the Science and Environmental Health Network exclaimed that, quote, when the health of humans and the environment is at stake, it may not be necessary to wait for scientific certainty to take protective action, unquote. Yes, it's the seriousness of the charge that's more important to our health than relying on science. And speaking of the seriousness of the charge, the last and most infamous example of baseless allegations is one that then Speaker of the House Tom Foley and George Mitchell, the Senate Democrat leader, cooked up in 1991. They baselessly alleged that during the 1980 presidential campaign, then Vice Presidential candidate George H.W. Bush hitched a ride on an Air Force SR-71 spy plane to Paris, France. There, Bush, alleged the two amoral Democrats, conspired with the Iranians to hold the American hostages until after Reagan won the election. Reagan would then be considered a hero. However, the accounts of what Foley said have been muddled somewhat over the years. Foley did not say what is often quoted. Quote, the seriousness of the charge mandates that we investigate this. Even though there is no evidence, the seriousness of the charge is what matters, unquote. Although he may have well said that. What was said was, quote, these allegations are both persistent and disturbing, unquote, the two leaders said in a joint statement. Quote, we have no conclusive evidence of wrongdoing, but the seriousness of the allegations and the weight of the circumstantial information compel an effort to establish the facts, unquote. Now, as I stated, I have absolutely no idea whether Christine Blasey Ford is making up any or all of this story. It's the timing that we are questioning, the fact that it just feels like a typical Democrat October surprise. My point is that the left has used this tactic of baseless allegations many times before, which is why I, for one, am choosing to take the side of presumption of innocence. And I would think the same of a Democrat nominee should the roles be reversed. So let's just hope that Kavanaugh retains the stamina to endure this and the Republicans don't do as they've done so many times previous and cave. Thank you for listening.